making sense of politics and the cultural divide from a different perspective. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant on News Radio 710 Keel.
Well, hello, citizens. It's a great day in the USA, and it's Friday again here in America, and we're here advancing the cause of American liberty and freedom. I'm CL Bryant, and you're listening to America on the Edge, where you'll not live on the edge, you'll have the edge, and we're broadcasting from within the borders of the greatest success story the world has ever known, the United States of America. I invite you to stay a while. I'm here with my co-host, Stephen Parr. Stephen, we got a great weekend coming up, but we have a great program lined up today. Tell the folks about it.
It is packed full of stuff. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get to everything we have in here, but we're first going to start off talking about fighting in Iraq. There has been resumed bombings. The U.S. has started bombing some of the ISIS fighters in some of northern Iraq. Actually, listen to Colonel Ralph Peters on Fox News talking about it.
Let's not exaggerate the importance of that strike. It was a fender bender in military terms.
So we're going to get into more of that.
Yeah. They're out in the open. Ralph may be right. We could have totaled them.
It was only 4. The first sortie was 4 fighter jets. That was it. We got a lot more than 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we'll be talking more about
France after all.
Right. We're not France after all. We're not the Netherlands. We're also going to be talking to Dan Bongino, and some of you may be familiar with his name. He was a Secret Service agent for both George W. and Obama, and he has written a book, and he is also running for Congress. So we'll be talking to him. Yeah,
Dan's a great guy. I've done a few venues with him, and we're going to have fun when he comes on.
And it's certainly some information that we're not able to get really anywhere else. Of course, there's also some information he may not be able to share, but we're going to be talking about that. And it is Friday, so we're also going to be talking Friday Follies. What is the silliest news story you have heard all week? That's our question of the day. Please let us know at 318-320-KEEL. 318-320-KEEL. You can also send us a tweet at The American Edge or reach us on Facebook.com/America on the Edge. We also have a big event coming up on Monday. There are a couple of things going on here in Caddo Parish. One, Bill Cassidy, who's running for Senate, is about to get an endorsement from the Caddo Republican Party. That's coming up on Monday.
That was expected.
Sure, I would think so, given that the Louisiana Republican Party is kind of joined behind. But this is coming up Monday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. That's going to be happening on 315 Lake Drive in Shreveport. And then also that evening, we're going to be live from Savoie's.
Come on out and be with us. Stay a while with us at Savoie's on Monday evening.
And in the same building, Senator Vitter is going to be talking to a group of folks along with Bill Cassidy. We'll be in the room right next door because we don't want to interfere with what they are doing. If you'd like to come out, meet CL Bryant, which I've had the chance to meet CL Bryant.
We
and
can
I
shake
tell you,
hands
it's
and
a thrill.
take pictures. Come on out and be with us. And I tell you something, I had the privilege of working with Stephen Parr. We're going to have a great time.
You can meet both Stephen and CL. But first, the buzz.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz?
Some breaking news. James Brady passed away earlier this week. James Brady was the speaker, the press secretary for President Reagan, and he was shot in the head when the assassination attempt for John Hinckley Jr. on President Reagan. And Brady passed away this last week.
The reason you have to get that FBI check right now is that Brady bill that was put in after he was shot by Hinckley. But how bad do you have to hate a guy? I mean, tell him what's going on with this.
Here's the interesting thing. The coroner has ruled Hinckley's death a homicide. A homicide stemming from that 1981 assassination attempt. So 33 years later, he died from apparently the head wound that he received in that shooting.
You know what they're telling him, Stephen?
What's that?
John Hinckley Jr., you'll never see the light of day.
You will not, and Jodie Foster is still not impressed.
Oh, Jodie.
So, yeah,
He did it. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did it because of Jodie Foster.
Because of Jodie Foster. That's why he was trying to impress Jodie Foster.
There were some things that John didn't know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay, well.
Anyway,
We'll
she's not a gun fan.
No, she's not. She's not a gun fan.
Yeah, that's what he did not realize at the time. But the thing is that they could now charge Hinckley with murder for that. In the Middle East, the 72-hour ceasefire between Israel and the fighters for Hamas expired, and promptly Hamas has started shooting rockets back off, and Israel has started bombing locations
That's
again.
their modus operandi. That's how they do it. They want to destroy Israel. They don't care. They don't care about peace talks. They don't care about peace. They just want to fire off rockets.
Well, they've lost all these rockets. The tunnel's been blown up. They've lost some infrastructure, and they can't rebuild that as long as the blockade is still in place. But they're not going to stop fighting until Israel lifts the blockade. Israel's not going to lift the blockade.
I still say let Israel go. Take the leash off of them. Let them do their worst to Hamas.
In the U.S., Russia has invaded U.S. airspace 16 times in the last 10 days.
Who knows about that?
I think the Air Force, U.S. Air Force, has known about it because they've had to scramble jets to intercept Russian strategic bombers, Russian spy planes, and Russian fighter jets 16 times in the last 10 days.
In the last 10 days?
Yeah.
So Vladimir is sending some type of message here.
He is.
He's sending some type of message here. And, I still go back every time I hear about these things that's going on with Putin over American airspace and Putin in Crimea. I keep hearing these words. Tell Vladimir I'll be more flexible after the election. I keep hearing it.
I keep hearing it, too. And I think Vlad heard that. I think he heard that loud and clear, and he's behaving accordingly.
Yeah.
Other bit of news here, Tennessee, Lamar Alexander won his primary in Tennessee, Senator Alexander, and that means that this election season in all of the primaries, Republican incumbents have beaten challengers in all of the primaries across the country. So no Republican senator this year is going to lose his or her seat to a Republican challenger.
That can be good news. That can be bad news, depending on what perspective you are in the party itself, because there have been so-called grassroots challengers who have come up against them. And, of course, we're looking forward to hanging on to every seat we can. So an R by whatever seat it is, I'm happy.
And I think that may have a lot to do with it this go-round. Is I think a lot of people looked at what happened last time and the time before, and they thought the Republicans would be able to pick up some seats, and did not, at least not to the level they thought they should. And I think that's playing into a lot of people's minds when they're at the ballot.
You're listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. We'll be back with Stephen Parr in just a minute.
This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
The Italians are not the only lovers of pizza, but just to make the Johnny's of Pizza House experience more authentic for you, we invite you to Be Italian. We'll whisk you far, far away to a land of romance and squisito Italian pizza. A 12-inch for just $12.99 begins your journey. Our new bacon and tomato pizza seasoned with Johnny's special Italian blend. Enjoy, no. Goodere Johnny's bacon and tomato pizza today. Johnny's Pizza House. Taste the best.
William F. Duncan doesn't just offer auto, home, and life insurance. He does it with great personal service. William F. Duncan has covered Caddo and DeSoto parishes for over 18 years. Call him today, 318-532-4300. Tell him CL sent you.
If you're tired of getting nickel and dime for your company's marketing needs, GI Marketing Group can help. We're a new, evolved marketing company with no monthly fees or markups and with quicker response times. With GI Marketing Group, there is no outsourcing. We own the production facilities, everything from print, mail, video, digital, and web design. We do it all in-house. Call us today at 318-222-1100 to start saving time and money, or visit us online at gimarketinggroup.com.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
If the number on your thermostat is going up just as quickly as the temperature outside, your air conditioner may have a serious problem. Give the friendly folks over at Premier Heating and Cooling a call at 222-1980.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burr. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get 'em, CL.
Rush Limbaugh, the authority for all things right.
It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Remember, most days I still feel like I'm 18 to 20. I mean, there's bumps in there, of course, but you look back on it on balance, it's not a thing I would change.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 710 Keel. You're listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. I'm Stephen Parr. If you'd like to advertise on the show, get your message out to folks who are wanting to know more about what's going on in their country, if that's your type of customer, give us a phone call. It's I don't know why I said 3. It's 855, not an 800 number, 855-288-6987, 288-6987. Our question of the day, what is the silliest news story you have heard all week? That's what we're asking, folks. And you can send us a tweet at The American Edge or get us on Facebook.com/America on the Edge. CL, there's a problem in northern Iraq, and the U.S. is now starting to wade into this. But ISIS, the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, has gained control of a large amount of territory and is threatening it. It's already surrounded some Christian and other minorities in the area. 40,000 were trapped on a mountaintop, and ISIS was moving in towards the capital of northern Iraq,
right.
And the Kurd areas, Erbil. A couple things that we've learned here. ISIS now controls a territory that is 10 times larger than Israel.
You know, Stephen, I give the president props where props are due, his proper respect.
Yeah.
Because I was glad that he finally said something, got out there and said something on last night. But when we're talking about a space, an area of land that they control,
yeah,
albeit most of it is desert and all of that.
Sure.
But when you're talking about the space of land, the size of land as big as Louisiana and Arkansas combined, then I think you're making your move too late. And if you're going to make a move, let's go in heavy, as my cop friends say.
Listen to, you were just mentioning the president talking about Iraq last night. In case you missed that, listen to the statement that he delivered last night. It's not all of it, just a part of it.
Already, American aircraft have begun conducting humanitarian airdrops of food and water to help these desperate men, women, and children survive. Earlier this week, one Iraqi in the area cried to the world, "There is no one coming to help." Well, today America is coming to help.
You see, they were crying that a week ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does take this president a long time to make decisions. And that really started even back during the 2008 campaign.
Obama.
It takes him a while to come around to a point of view on something before he finally says something. It's been a pattern of behavior.
That's what makes us nervous, Stephen, because sometimes, maybe he's not, dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's not nonchalant. Maybe he's just erudite. But it takes him forever to do anything. And the world as it is today can't wait. We need decisive action on certain things, and this was one of them. And I think it's about 2 weeks too late.
Frankly, I don't think we should have left. But anyway, that's my point on that. All right, let's talk about what has happened now since that press conference. There have been 2 rounds of strikes from American aircraft, mostly F-18s. There are 4 F-18s that took out an artillery battery. So ISIS had captured artillery weapons from Syria. They had moved them into Iraq and were using them to bombard the Kurdish capital of Erbil. So, and we have troops stationed in Erbil, advisors, if you will, and also diplomatic
military
folk there.
advisors.
And so they were using that to bombard Erbil. We took out that artillery with our 4 fighter jets.
Great move.
Good move.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
We then went back around, and with 2 drones, we took out a mortar installation. The ISIS fighters then went to look at what we had done to the mortar installation, and a couple more F-18s took out the ISIS fighters and a convoy in the area.
All I'm saying is take them all out. They're in the open right now. You let these guys disperse and hide. You can't blast a mountain down. And that's what we were fighting in Afghanistan.
Right.
In Afghanistan, I mean, these guys were hiding in mountains. You just can't get them. Get them now, as the old saying in The Godfather 1, while we got the muscle, let's go take them out.
And they're trying to fight a conventional war. They've got conventional weapons. They've got tanks. They've got artillery. Our military, especially our Air Force, is very good at taking out a conventional force.
Yeah.
Once that happens, though, they will go underground. Tell you what, let's listen to Colonel Ralph Peters, because he certainly knows more about military than I do.
You betcha. I like Ralph.
He was on Fox. Let's listen to what he was saying to Bill Hemmer.
Now, I fully support attacking ISIS from the air, using our air power. And by the way, Bill, I am convinced that Obama and his grad school groupies they're out of touch with the American people. The idea that the American people don't want to hurt jihadis is nuts. I do not believe the American people have any objection to using air power to kill jihadis who are slaughtering Christians and other minorities.
Grad school groupies. I like that term.
Yeah.
As far as Ralph is concerned. Ralph, Colonel Peterson did give the president his propers on going in.
Right.
But he's saying, like we're saying, the job needs to be completed. I mean, we need to go in heavy, hard, finish them, and set these people free.
And as I said on the show last night, if there's any group in the Middle East other than Israel that needs and deserves our protection and our help, it is the Kurds in northern Iraq. Those people have been through a tremendous amount of turmoil and strife under Saddam Hussein, and then during the war, and the entire time during the war, that was the safest place we could be for American troops.
And the Kurds want to fight.
They do.
They know how to fight.
They have an army called the Peshmerga.
And that means?
It means those who face death.
They're not afraid of it.
Right.
They want to fight. And so arm the Kurds.
Yeah.
And let them fight for their own freedom.
And I think we're going to need some boots on the ground, because Air Force is going to be able to take out a lot of their heavy weaponry. Air Force cannot capture territory. And with the ISIS now controlling an area the size of Louisiana and Arkansas combined, someone's going to have to capture territory.
That's a pretty large area, but this is what the president showed me last night in his speech. As I was listening to him, I realized that he was trying to placate, trying to appease his constituency, his people, who he told that he would not send boots back in.
Yeah.
But that's going to be another promise. You mark my word. That's going to be another promise that he's not going to be able to keep if we're going to be successful.
So you're saying he was still trying to justify his Nobel Peace Prize?
Oh, yeah, he should give it back.
Sure.
But, of course, Arafat didn't give his back, so I shouldn't have said
that. he did not. Listen again to Colonel Ralph Peters on Fox talking about what it really takes.
Pinprick strikes. And this goes back to the terrible mistake Bill Clinton made in the 90s when he felt like, well, I got to do something about al-Qaeda, I'll make a show. He lobbed a few cruise missiles at an empty training camp, hit a couple oddball targets in Sudan, and declared victory. It strengthened al-Qaeda because it showed that America, in their view, couldn't destroy them. So again, the military isn't the answer to every problem. But when you've got jihadis slaughtering Christians, burning 1,800-year-old churches, attacking this harmless Yazidi minority, beheading adults and even beheading children, that's time for America to step up. It is our fight, And yeah, it's water under the bridge that we should have left troops in Iraq. Obama wouldn't. He's an aversion to all things military. But to paraphrase the late, great James Brown, when it comes to military operations, if you're going to do it right, do it with soul. When you use the military, you hit them hard.
James Brown also said, folks, Papa don't take no mess. But America is taking a whole bunch of mess off of these people right now. We go back to this. You don't want the enemy, when you punch him in the nose, you don't want him to say, is that all you got?
No, that's absolutely not all you got. My dad was a West Point graduate. Growing up, he taught me, I don't ever want to hear that you got in a fight you could have walked away from. But I also don't want to ever hear you lost a fight. If you have to get into a fight, you have two places to aim. One's the face, one is not. And it better take 3 people to drag you off of that other guy. They had all better think you are crazy.
Exactly. And that's the whole big stick concept. Why have the big stick if you're not going to use it? Speak soft, walk softly, but carry the big stick.
Let me quote another president, George W., after 9/11. He said, I don't want to spend $1 million to launch a cruise missile. Did he hit a camel in the buttocks? He didn't say buttocks. He said another word. But that's the point. He went into Afghanistan with troops as opposed to just launching cruise missiles the way Clinton did.
And we'll never know if George W. actually intended to say buttocks or something else. This is CL Bryant, America on the Edge. We'll be right back.
This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
It's the most advanced technology available, engineered with over 200 million sensory receptors. Its all-terrain design is beautifully formed, weather-resistant, reliable, astonishingly high performance in even the most challenging of circumstances. And it is also the finest search technology in the world. There's nothing else quite like a search dog. Be part of the search. Go to searchdogfoundation.org to see how you can help.
Hello, this is Matt from One Planet Solar. As we reach the middle of the year, I wanted to take a minute to thank all the homeowners who have installed solar energy systems so far in 2014, making this our busiest year yet. I love getting phone calls from customers the month after installation, bragging about their low electric bills. It never gets old. I'm also here to remind folks that One Planet Solar is a full-service electrical business, with master electrician Lee Cruz anchoring our repair and service division. Lee has an excellent reputation and has been with our company since we opened almost 8 years ago. He takes care of all jobs, small or large. Don't forget that solar still has tax credits available that pay up to 80% of the cost of most systems. Why give that money to the government when you can use it to buy solar for your home? So what are you waiting for? Whether it's a solar system or miscellaneous electrical work around the house, One Planet Solar is the only choice in the Arklatex. Call 858-5000 to schedule your free quote. That's 858-5000.
The declining Sparta aquifer is our main water source in North Louisiana. We continue to use 25 million gallons a day more than our Sparta can sustain. Every year the water level continues to drop and the water quality continues to erode. Please do your part and conserve our precious water resource. Conserving water doesn't require a major change in lifestyle. It just takes a little common sense. Be Sparta smart. Make every drop count. This public service announcement is brought to you by this radio station, a member of the Sparta Media Network.
This is Jim Lucas with Don't Major on the Minor, number 491 of 1001 Ways to Connect with Your Kids. Pick up your toys. Watch what you're doing. Don't spill your milk. Your clothes don't match. Eat your peas. Mom and Dad, are you nagging yourself right out of a relationship with your kids? Don't major on the minors. Major on the majors, building a healthy bond with a mature, spiritually rooted child.
From Tyndale House, 1001 Ways to Connect with Your Kids.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2014.
The ball is caught in the back of the end zone. What a throw by Romo.
And it's heard exclusively here.
Murray coming right up the middle, bounces out to the right, room to run.
Your radio home.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
For Dallas Cowboys football.
Thursday night, your Cowboys open the 2014 preseason against the San Diego Chargers. Live from Qualcomm Stadium on this Dallas Cowboys Radio Network station.
News Radio 710 Keel. Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr. on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. I am Stephen Parr. Our question of the day is, what is the silliest news story you have heard all week? It is Friday Follies coming up in our next block, and we want to hear from you. Give us a phone call, 318-320-KEEL, 318-320-KEEL. You can also send us a tweet at The American Edge or reach us on Facebook.com/America on the Edge. CL, we have a hero on the line here.
I believe so. Dan Bongino is a man of great integrity and former Secret Service agent. He's writing his book that he's going to tell us about, and he's also a candidate there in the 6th District, Maryland, and I look forward to sharing this time with you for a while. Dan, welcome to America on the Edge. How are you, brother?
Hey, it's an honor to be here, but you said there was a hero on the line. I said, there's another person on the phone? This is unbelievable. I didn't know it was a multi-person show. But thank you. That was very nice of you. I appreciate that.
And that's the kind of humility that Dan exemplifies everywhere he goes. But, of course, our Michelle here definitely thinks you're a rock star. Dan, tell us about your race. How's it going? And then we want to talk about your days. Tell us about the book as well. And then we want to talk about your days with Secret Service.
Sure. The race is going great. It's surprisingly going well, and I'm not afraid to say that. Most of the political consultant class will tell you, always say great things about your campaign even when it's going poorly. I think that's garbage. I think, voters are entitled to know where you stand, and we're in great shape. Our poll numbers are great. We're out fundraising our opponent, despite him being the 5th or 6th richest member of Congress. So it's going really well. We put a lot of stock early into real grassroots, actual knocking on doors and looking people in the eyes. And that's the kind of thing, CL, time is of the essence, and he can't catch up now. We've knocked on 15,000-plus doors. I've hit nearly 5,000 myself, and the dividends are starting to pay off. I think we may pull this one off in Maryland. I'm really excited about it.
You mentioned that your opponent is the 5th or 6th richest member of Congress. According to Wikipedia, his net worth is somewhere up around $230 million. Also, this was a district that used to be Republican, and then redistricting made it more of a Democrat stronghold, especially during the last election. How are you guys able to switch that around and change the math there?
Well, you did your homework. I'm impressed. A lot of these other guys, we do these interviews, and they don't know anything about these. I'm incredibly impressed.
I have a crack team here, Dan.
What's that?
I have a crack team of researchers here.
Oh, I can tell, man. I am definitely impressed. It was in a Republican district for 20 years, and they redistricted. They cut out a large Republican swath of it and introduced portions of the D.C. suburbs into the district. For all the political wonks listening, it was, I think, an R+10 on the Cook Partisan Value Index. It leaned heavily Republican. It's now a D+4, meaning it's winnable, but a fair analysis is on the far edge of winnable. And that's why I think a lot of the national audience has been a little reluctant to change our race. They still think he's relatively safe, my opponent, but that's how they knocked off Roscoe Bartlett. He had the seat for 20 years. This guy came in. He was a self-funder. He used that D.C. suburb vote. He leveraged it, and boom, found himself with a seat in Congress.
The thing I do know about you is that you are a statesman. You bring a very fresh perspective to it. I've heard you speak on several occasions now, Dan, and I do believe that the folks there in Maryland will, in fact, benefit from your beholding that office. Tell us about your book. How is that coming along?
Well, thank you. And I've spoken with you at several rallies. And let me tell you, folks, the most unenviable position for a conservative or a libertarian to speak, I'd say there's two. You don't want to speak at the DNC, and you don't want to speak after CL Bryant. I'm just going to warn you. So if you're planning on running for office and you go to an event and they send you the roster and you're after CL, just cancel it, because you will never be able to match this guy.
Thanks,
You're
Dan.
amazing, too. I appreciate that.
Thank you,
but
brother.
The book's going well. We made the New York Times bestseller list. We were on Amazon's bestseller list for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. It's still selling well. It's called Life Inside the Bubble. And it's my account. It's not a tell-all, so I don't want to, mislead anyone. It's not some, Barack Obama eats Cheerios and not Wheaties in the morning. But it is my account of my time in the Secret Service. And I use my stories in the Secret Service dealing with people in these various stressful scenarios to indicate in the later chapters, to kind of make a parallel between that and what I think is wrong with the government in general, how it's operating, the lack of accountability, how the overly bureaucratic system stifles innovation. And the book was a hit. It still does really well, and I think we're 4-star reviewed on Amazon. We got over 550 reviews. So, yeah, it's done great, and it's still moving.
Let's talk about some of your life inside the bubble. When you were working in Secret Service, did you spend any time, I may be incorrect here, but I thought you spent some time doing some advance work into Afghanistan and Iraq. Is that correct?
Yeah, you guys, this gets better by the minute. I did Afghanistan, not Iraq. And Afghanistan was, as a chapter in the book on it, was unbelievably stressful. I mean, put yourself in my shoes, right? You're at that time it was my birthday actually when I was there. I think I was about 36 or maybe 37 years old. It's my birthday. I'm in Afghanistan. It's my last trip. That's it. As a Secret Service agent on the President's detail, I'd been there almost 5 years. I'd been to Indonesia. I'd been to all these, the places all over. I'd gotten back. I'd gotten all these gastrointestinal illnesses, been involved in a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm thinking, this is when it's going to go all bad. You're flying the President of the United States into an active war zone, and during the conference call back to, the White House folks, they're asking you, is this trip going to be dangerous? And you're like, are you kidding?
Wow.
Or you must be a White House staffer. Like, only you would ask that question. It was very stressful, and I tell the story in the book about all the things that went wrong and how we had to fix it last minute. And believe me when I tell you, everything was last minute, from a sandstorm to, people getting sick to half of my team getting trapped in downtown Kabul.
Wow.
It was a crazy trip. I couldn't wait to get out of it.
With that type of insight and background that you've had in that area of the world, Dan, tell us your take on this Kurdish situation, ISIS, that whole fiasco that's going on there in that part of the world right now. What's your take on it? How do you view our handling this, or the president's handling this?
Well, I hate cliches, but there are reasons, statements become cliches, sometimes because they're true so often. And one cliche you hear a lot is, we won the war, we lost the peace. Well, that's what happened in Iraq. And having spent some time in the Middle East, actually quite a bit of time over there, and I noticed a lot of things, CL. They don't see the Middle East like we do. We see the Middle East far differently. I'll give you an example. I was dealing with this one group of people one time, and their sense of what their country is not what ours is. In other words, we're all U.S. citizens. We understand we're Americans. We get that. Despite all the division the Democrats try to force on us, in the end, we're all Americans, and we typically unite after things like 9/11 and stuff. There are people in that portion of the world, a large number of them, who don't see it that way. Their loyalties are tribal, to religious sects. They're not to, it's SECTS, to religious sects. They're not to the country. The country to them is just an amalgamation of small subdivisions. I say that because, using the Afghanistan example, my experience over there was the loyalties were to the tribe, and some of the people over there were genuinely surprised that our country was willing to forfeit its young in a war to fight for something that some of them didn't even understand. Afghanistan didn't mean anything to them. It didn't. It wasn't like what America means to you. And I think that's what fosters a lot of this failure to see an end game and our involvement in a lot of these conflicts. I didn't agree with the Iraq war when it started, but we really screwed it up. We were there, and we should have handled it and managed this withdrawal more effectively than this president did.
If you are elected to the House of Representatives there in Maryland's 6th District, what are the biggest things that you want to accomplish there in the People's House?
I'm a big fair tax advocate. I know it's not the sexiest topic for people, but I'm passionate about economics, and the tax code in this country has become such a source of insider cronyism and people selling out. There's one thing that, and I've heard CL talk about this topic, and a lot of the folks at FreedomWorks as well about this topic. It's the DC foie gras eating, bow tie wearing crowd Republicans and Democrats that have so sold out America that the source of their power has to be taken away. It's like the Wonder Twins. You have to take away their rings so they can't activate. The source of their power is the tax code. I know it doesn't sound.
No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Go ahead, Dan.
If CL had a company that made blue shirts and CL wants to get ahead, CL can do it one of two ways. CL can find a way to make quality blue shirts at an effective cost, so in the free market the shirts sell well, or CL could take the modern route, invest his money in a lobby firm that buys off a couple of sellout, sick-to-my-stomach congressmen in D.C., who then carve out a nice little portion of the tax code for CL, so he pays less in taxes than his friend. CL can then make a bunch of crappy blue shirts and beat all his competition because he knew he could bribe off D.C.
And that's becoming
what our economy's becoming.
That's becoming the American way. Dan, I don't want to let you go without you giving us folks who haven't had your life experience an insight into what do you call upon within yourself to become a Secret Service agent? I always have admired and respected any law enforcement, but certainly Secret Service. Where does that type of dedication to country come from?
Well, the purity of the mission, always attracted me. There are people who, frankly, some good people don't. Well, I was a cop, but some people don't like cops. I mean, they may have had a bad experience. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. But the Secret Service mission was one that almost anyone could agree with. And, being a Christian and, Christ showed us the way. I mean, sacrifice is the path to the second creation. He died on that cross in the most painful way possible to show you how it's done. That the way to do this is to sacrifice. We're not perfect. We're all sinners. I'm a sinner too. But that job to me was just so emblematic of a loyalty to a mission and a sacrifice for a greater cause that its attraction to me was almost magnetic. Frankly, once I started the interview process, there was nothing that was going to keep me out of it. I would have volunteered if I could. It was a great job.
Amazing. Dan, listen, I want to thank you. I want to have you back often, brother, to give us an update on how things are going. That if there's anything that I can do for you personally and, of course, through Freedom Works, let me know. I'll be there for you, brother. I'll be there for you. Listen.
You are a great friend, and it's my honor to be on the show. I mean it. You're a good man. You've always been there for me. I appreciate that.
God bless and keep you. We'll talk to you on the trail.
See you guys. Take care.
You're listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. Coming up next, what is the silliest news story you have heard all week? It's time for Friday Follies. Give us a call, 318-320-KEEL. We'll be right back.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
8 years ago, Louisiana Power Sports opened for business in Houghton. Well, a lot has happened since then. Louisiana Power Sports has grown into the #1 exclusive Polaris dealer in the South, and we're still growing. Louisiana Power Sports is now open in our big new building on Benton Road, just 1/2 mile north of I-220 in Bossier City. Over 30,000 square feet with a bigger showroom holding more new Polaris ATVs and side-by-sides than ever. A huge new state-of-the-art service department and more parts and accessories. Come see the new store. Say hi to everyone you know know and see and test drive the new 2015 Polaris models. Louisiana Power Sports says thank you, Louisiana. Thank you, Arkansas. Thank you, Texas, for 8 great years in Houghton, and invites you to come see us in our big new location, now open at 3715 Benton Road, 1/2 mile north of I-220 in Bossier City.
Louisiana Power Sports, get ready to ride.
LouisianaPowersports.com.
Hello, sir.
What's going on in here?
I'm giving Franklin and Accounting a facial.
In the supply closet?
Well, I finished all my work at 10 a.m., so...
Are you bored?
Yes, sir.
Maybe you should think about another job.
I went online to ShreveportHelpWanted.com. I uploaded my resume for free in minutes, and they're looking for a job for me while I give facials.
How lucky are you?
Excuse me, sir?
I'll miss you. Can you squeeze me in at 4 o'clock for an eyebrow wax? I'm looking a little like Frida Kahlo.
ShreveportHelpWanted.com. Long name, amazing results.
I'm from the violin store. I see you have horses that board here.
Yes, but none of them play the violin.
Our violin bows are made of horsehairs, and we're looking for some.
Your job is collecting horsehair?
It's, not my dream job.
Ever hear of ShreveportHelpWanted.com?
They have horses?
No, they have tons of good local jobs on their website.
I don't have time.
You can upload your resume for free, and they do all the looking for you.
Okay, let me ask a favor. Okay, I only pulled one.
Told you she'd hate it.
Oh,
ShreveportHelpWanted.com. Long name, amazing results.
This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. 40 years ago today.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
Yeah, I know a lot of you folks have been wondering if our current president, would ever say those words. I know it makes a lot of you happy. Tomorrow at noon, I'm resigning the presidency. Well, right now, I think he might be gaining a little momentum. What do you think, Stephen?
Well, yeah, he's trying to bump up in the polls a bit on a variety of things, but Nixon said, "I am not a crook" as he was leaving.
Ooh.
And I think Obama would have to leave with saying, "I'm not a czar."
Oh man! 40 years ago today, President Nixon did speak those now infamous words. The American president brought down by his own chicanery. But the truth is, Nixon really didn't know that Watergate was going to be broken into, but he hid it once he did find out.
That was the really. I don't believe in conspiracies because I just have a theory that it takes too much intelligence to pull off a really good conspiracy. My plan, though, breaks down when you talk about dumb conspiracies.
Yeah.
Nixon was going to win that election.
Yeah.
They didn't need to break in.
No.
Once they broke in, Nixon didn't know about it in the first place. He didn't need to cover it up.
No.
To throw those people under the bus.
He should have done it. And
what? It was a dumb conspiracy.
And he would have walked away. And I think history's still going to be very kind to him as far as opening up China and all of those type things. Nixon could have been a king if he had not lied to the American people, which brings me to this point. This president has been caught in several misgivings, lies, and nothing of the integrity. I don't think he actually reaches the level of integrity that Nixon had. Nixon had the integrity to resign.
But yeah, because you knew he was doing damage to the country.
Exactly.
And I think Barack Obama doesn't see it as damage to the country.
No.
I think he sees it as a fundamental change.
It's Obama world.
You know what? It's Friday. We don't want to bring you down.
No!
It's time for...
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, we're all working for the weekend. Friday, Follies here. We wanted to know what was the silliest story you have heard all week long. Let me just play one of the silliest ones I've heard for you. This is coming out of Baton Rouge.
He did not address anything, and he did not tell me that I ate a pie or that I have a wrap in my pocket that I would like to pay for. No, he did not say that.
Ragusa says he then asked Givens if he was going to pay for the pie he had eaten in the store. He adds that is when Givens became upset, pulling out his councilman badge and saying, "You must not know who I am."
Now, Stephen, this is a city councilman.
Yes.
Who goes into a store.
Yes.
And he unwraps a moon pie.
Yeah.
He eats it in the store.
Which, by the way, you have to unwrap them before you eat them.
You have to unwrap them before you eat them.
Yeah.
He throws the wrapper away.
Yeah.
And the owner of the store, as he walks out, says, "Hey, You gonna pay me for that moon pie you ate?
And John Givens, the city councilman, says, hey, you don't know who I am. I'm a city councilman. We get moon pies.
That is elitist. That's the most elitist thing I can imagine. But you know what? That is the attitude that is permeating throughout this entire country. They eat your moon pies in your business, in your face, and then get mad at you for saying something about it.
Here's another story for you. We just talked to Dan Bongino, Secret Service agent, right? Okay, well, he never had to deal with anything like this. There was a lockdown at the White House yesterday.
What?
And the reason was a toddler snuck through the fence and got into the south lawn. And according to MSNBC, the Secret Service then apprehended the toddler.
Unleashed the hound.
Yeah, and they came out. They said, we were going to wait until he learned to question him. But in lieu of that, he got timeout and was sent on his way with his parents.
I can just see him. They had the kid on his face with handcuffs.
Yeah, a little kid snuck through the fence and then caused a lockdown at the White House.
Oh, man, I'll tell you something. Well, I tell you, it could have been. It just could have been. In another situation, somebody that had sent a toddler in there to do something bad. We don't know in this world today.
You never can tell, so you have to take it cautiously, but it still ended up in Friday Follies.
It's funny.
How about over in England, Portsmouth, in the United Kingdom, a man has been fined after he pretended to be a ghost while in a cemetery.
Now that's funny. I don't care what nobody says.
24-year-old Anthony Stollard was seen inside a cemetery kicking a soccer ball. They called it a football there with a friend after they'd been drinking, and then they were shouting and singing and going. Ooh.
Now he was pretending that. It was more like disturbing the peace, really, though.
Yeah, probably.
But because you can't pretend to be a ghost.
Unless you're a soccer playing ghost.
Either you are or you ain't. As far as concerned. That's a charge I don't think it's going to stick.
All right, so here's, speaking of things not sticking, here's the last one we have here. A man was arrested. He had a leaf blower and nothing else. A Massachusetts man was out in front of his house blowing leaves off of his lawn with a leaf blower. The problem was he wasn't wearing any clothes.
Oh, he was naked?
Yeah, Richard Capra, 69-year-old, was trying to...
Who's a 69-year-old leaf blower in the nude?
Yeah.
Folks, you can't make this stuff up.
You could, but it wouldn't be as funny. So the neighbors complained, apparently. They thought that was not all right.
Was there a message in this or what? I don't know.
There may be.
I'm not sure what that's okay. Oh,
yeah, I'm just gonna there are probably jokes there. I'm just gonna let them go.
All right, we'll use your imagination. We hope you're having a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Friday and headed into the weekend. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant along with Stephen Parr. We'll be back.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
It's a summer sizzler showcase. You could win a $5,000 gift card to any Louisiana Boardwalk store, including Bass Pro Shops. Presented by the outlets at Louisiana Boardwalk. Look online to win at 710keel.com.
Have you ever thought, I wish I didn't have to search for the best price on printing or direct mail? Tired of trying to design your own material on some confusing website just to get to the end and it's not that professional look your business needs? Well, stop searching and call Graphic Industries. We've been waiting on your business, ready to help you with your printing and direct mail needs. Graphic Industries offers all types of print, stationery, brochures, flyers, catalogs, door hangers, books, pocket folders, postcards, variable printed letters, and much, much more. Graphic Industries can direct mail for you, too. You can customize a mailing list, target a certain demographic, or just flood the market and get your name in the homes of thousands of potential clients. Lowest prices, best quality, and a faster turn time. Visit us online at graphicindustries.net. or call us today at 318-222-1100. Graphic Industries, the #1 choice of printing and direct mail.
If you're in need of a good plumber, perhaps you need work on your heater, or especially right now with cooling and refrigeration systems. If you need help, give the friendly folks at Premier a call at 222-1980.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burns. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get 'em, CL.
SB Magazine, North Louisiana's premier publication, is your source for local entertainment, home decor ideas, gardening information, fashion trends, and seasonal gift guides. Every month we take you behind the scenes at some of Shreveport-Bossier's most fun events in Eye on SB. And you'll find SB Magazine everywhere. But the best way to make sure you have the most current issue is to subscribe. It's just $16 for 12 months. Call Debbie today or go to our website, sbmag.net. SB Magazine, the pulse of Shreveport-Bossier.
It was 1 against, I don't know, probably 10. By the time they were done, his neck was red. Oh, I am afraid to go to high school. It scares me.
I have a knife and you don't. Ha 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 ha. There was this kid that was like 17, or he came to a school with a gun. We didn't know if it was fake or real.
Our children need our help to deal with tough issues, like violence. Please, talk with your kids.
For a free booklet, call 1-800-CHILD-44. Brought to you by the Kaiser Family Foundation, Children Now, and the Ad Council.
Let me cut through all of the noise.
Rush is on every weekday from 11 to 2.
It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind.
Right here on your news and weather station.
Where consumers of hard news go.
On News Radio 710 Keel. 710 Keel. 710 Keel. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr. On News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge. If you have a business and you'd like to get the word out, let people know what you're doing, let them know how you can help them, give us a phone call. 1-855-288-6987. Again, 855-288-6987. 8-7. CL, coming up on Monday, big event. We're going to have David Vitter on the show. Yeah. I believe we're also talking to Bill Cassidy, who's running for. Are we talking Sean Cassidy?
No, Sean Cassidy.
Okay. Bill
His
Cassidy.
older brother is David, I think.
We're going to talk to both of them on our show. We're going to be live from Savoie's in Shreveport, and you can come out and join us there. The show's going from 6 until 7 o'clock. You can come out and shake hands, and we'd like to see you there. There's going to be a big Republican event going on as well, and we're just going to be kind of off on the side there doing the radio show, letting folks know what's going on.
Yeah, bring your iPhones. Take some pics. We'd be happy to do it.
So, CL, it's Friday. We've done the Friday Follies. What is the silliest story you have heard all week?
You know, Stephen, for me, it would have to be that Nancy Pelosi scene there on the congressional floor. I mean, it just seemed like she had just totally lost her mind.
Yeah, when she went running up after one of the Republican congressmen was and said that they had never done anything about immigration.
You're insignificant. I mean, she actually said to this guy,
she did.
"You are insignificant." And we were talking about the guy with the moon pie.
Right.
You know, eating the moon pie and everything. That's an elitist attitude. And who were we talking to that day that said, I tell you what, that was John Fleming.
John Fleming, Congressman
who said
Fleming.
that type of attitude is all through the congressional floor. People there feel like they are entitled to do certain things that you and I would find offensive, rude even.
She crossed the aisle, waving her finger. She did not have permission to speak. The Republican had the floor. And then after he was done, apparently he hurt her feelings so much by pointing out things that were true that she chased him up the aisle yelling at him.
It was bizarre. I'd never seen people who were there said they'd never seen it before. Well, folks, we've come to just about the end of another show here today and another week. And we hope that you have a very safe weekend. Finally, I just want to say I'm bringing my wife home on tomorrow. I do, with all my heart, want to thank each and every one of you for your tweets, your Facebook posts, your letters, everything that have supported us in this time of trouble. And we want to say God bless and keep you, and God bless the men and women in uniform across this world who defend, Stephen, your right and my right to sit behind these microphones and speak our mind. We'll see you next time. Jane, I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.
To protect and defend what we believe and keep America strong and living free. They see the damage and the pain, shattered lives.
Your station for news, weather,